We are live. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Full Time MMA, aka the Drip Lord, and we are here to give our breakdown and predictions for UFC Fight Night Calvin Kattar versus Arnold Allen. We're doing our breakdown and predictions a little different this time. As you see, we're going to be doing this live. I have not had time to go through and make the whole template and everything and break down these fights. I've been super busy. Been out here having a little bit of fun working. I mean, I've been working hard and I've been playing hard. I tell y'all, last night went to the strip club, had a great time. This morning, a little bit of a hangover. I'm flying down the highway to get to work on time. Get pulled over in a construction zone. I'm on traffic diversion. So that was about to fuck it up, but I was nice and respectful to the cop. So I got off with a verbal warning, and he escorted me to the gas station because I was on E from driving all over to the strip club and dropping my boy off. Oh, today has been, and last night it's been a hell of a day, man. So here we are. Now we're giving our live breakdown and predictions for UFC Fight Night Kattar versus Allen tomorrow. It's going to be some great fights. Arnold Allen was flying under my radar. 12-fight win streak he's trying to keep alive against Calvin Kattar, who is one of the elite featherweights in the division for sure. That's going to be a hell of a main event. We've got some other talented fighters on the card, such as Tim Means versus Max Griffin. That's a great fight. We've got Khalil Rountree Jr. fighting Dustin Jacoby to get in the rankings. That's a fight I'm definitely looking forward to. So we've got a couple good fights on this main card to break down and predict. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight into it. Let me make sure my audio's good. Yes, it is. All right, everybody. Our main event of the evening is going to be Calvin Kattar versus Arnold Allen. So how we're going to do this? We're gonna do the research. It's gonna be kind of like a live research show. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be doing research on the fights, and then by the end of the show, I'm gonna give you all of my picks. But I haven't did a lot of the research for these fights, so we're gonna do it together. We're just gonna hang out, chop it up, talk a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We live, we in the flesh. Thank God for another day, and let's continue to bless us and teach us. You know what I'm saying? So let's go. I'm about to bless y'all with these MMA wisdom and teach y'all who I'm picking. So let's start off with the main event of Calvin Kattar versus Arnold Allen. Woo! That is going to be a banger. It's got real potential to be a banger if Calvin Kattar is able to come out and swing and bang and pick Arnold Allen apart like I know he would love to do. But this is where the research comes in because, like I said, Arnold Allen's been flying under the radar. He's been flying under the radar to get a 12-fight winning streak. That's a low-key 12-fight winning streak. Like Arnold Allen, he's so under the radar. Like, I'm a hardcore fan, and there hasn't been no main events. There hasn't been no co-main events with Arnold Allen. I'm like, where did this dude come from? This dude's got all these fights in the UFC. He's on a 12-fight winning streak. Arnold Allen, let me pull up his record for you guys. And he's unheard of damn near. He's like I guarantee you, a casual fan has never heard the name Arnold Allen. Who the fuck is that guy? And he's on a 12-fight. He's 18-1 on a 12-fight winning streak, training out of TriStar. Why is this guy not more talked about? I mean, I see some decisions here, okay, but I mean, he's got some finishes. Let's look at his win streak. 12-fight winning streak. How many of those are in the UFC? UFC debut against Alan O'Meara. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of his wins are in the UFC. Very impressive 9-fight win streak, undefeated in the UFC. Very impressive for Arnold Allen. He just finished Dan Hooker in his last fight. Sadiq Youssef, Nick Lentz, Gilbert Melendez. These are all talented fighters. Mads Burnell, Jordan Rinaldi, Makwan Amirkhani. He's not just fighting straight scrubs in this win streak, guys. Arnold Allen looks like he is the real deal. And if he can beat Calvin Kattar in this main event, that's going to set him up for a huge fight. Because Arnold Allen, being undefeated in the UFC, being 18-1, training out of TriStar, he's got a lot of things he's doing right. Especially with the way the UFC is going now, where they are putting a lot more stock and emphasis on guys with those pretty records, guys that are undefeated, guys that only have one loss. The fact that he's able to build up that very pretty, pristine 18-1 record, that's going to help him get that title shot and get that momentum he needs to really get those big fights. So if he can win, he's already got a huge fight with Dan Hooker, and he won it. He passed the test. Next test, Calvin Kattar, and if he can pass this test, Arnold Allen might be looking at a featherweight title shot against Volkanovski next. I mean, we know Volkanovski's going to be going up to challenge Islam Makhachev, but in the meantime, in between time, Arnold Allen is next up for a title shot. If he can win this fight, he might be one fight away from the next title shot. So, with that being said, Arnold Allen's record passes the test. His training team passes the test. His win streak passes the test. A lot of positives for this guy. That's the type of stuff that makes me pick people to win fights. The resume, everything's on point. You know he's got phenomenal wrestling training out of TriStar. So that might be why he's been going under the radar. He might be more of a grappling heavy fighter. You know, those guys aren't necessarily the most pretty how they get their wins, but as you can tell, they get the dubs. He's going to be taking on 23-6 Calvin Kattar in the main event. Calvin Kattar is coming off of a split decision loss to Josh Emmett. Then he beat Giga Chikadze, which is it's a pretty impressive win. He's not. I wouldn't put him up there with Dan Hooker or maybe even Sadiq Youssef. That'd be close, but he's definitely a very. He's not a can. He's got skills. He's got legitimate skills, striking skills. So that's a solid win. Max Holloway, one of the best fighters in the world. Then Ige, Jeremy Stevens, 60. What I'm seeing here, the resume, especially with the loss, with Max Holloway, I don't put too much stock into. Josh Emmett was a split decision. You can't put too much stock into that. I mean, he really could be on a 4-fight winning streak if you take out one of the best fighters of all time. Calvin Kattar is a really, really good fighter. That's why this is such a good fight. I do believe I'm going to be picking Arnold Allen in this fight. He's got so much riding on this, so much momentum. He's so well-rounded. We've never seen him beat in the UFC against top contenders. He's passing the test with flying colors, and I think this is just going to be another flying color on Arnold Allen's resume. Calvin Kattar, I mean, well-rounded, definitely a phenomenal boxer, but when it comes down to crunch time, we have seen that he hasn't been able to pass the elite levels of the featherweight division. I mean, even the split decision with Josh Emmett, it's not like Josh Emmett, it's not like a split decision with Peter Yan where you're fighting split decisions with the best guys in the world. He's a guy that is more of a gatekeeper, so you know what I'm saying? That, to me, that puts Calvin Kattar in that gatekeeper range where you can compete with the gatekeepers, but you're not going to beat the elite guys in the division, the number one, the champion, the number two. And I think Arnold Allen actually has potential to do that. So I think Arnold Allen is a little bit higher level. His resume is a little bit more impressive, the wins. And so I'm going to pick Arnold Allen to win the main event tomorrow at UFC Fight Night, Kattar versus Allen. I'm taking Arnold Allen. Let's move on to the co-main event of the evening. And I'll pull up the chat in just a second. Say salute to the full-time family. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everybody's out there working hard, playing hard, and doing what they got to do to stay out here on top, man. Staying out the way while having your way. Talk to me. Now, we got Calvin Kattar versus Arnold Allen in the main event. And then we got Tim Means, the Dirty Bird, versus Max Griffin. That's a good fight right there. I love Tim Means, man. Tim Means is one of those gritty, just a real fighter, man. He don't back down from nobody. He's willing to get in there and bang. Tim Means, he reminds me a lot of like Matt Brown. Tim Means definitely one of my favorite fighters. He reminds me of a guy like Neil Magny almost, a guy that's just willing to get in there and fight anybody. He's not in there to play the politic game. He's in there just to be a badass. And that's what Tim Means is. But so is Max Griffin. So let's pull up his resume. Let's pull up Max Payne. Tim Means, look at all those fights. That's what I'm talking about. 32, 13, and 1. That is 46 fights. 46 professional fights. That's not counting amateur fights. That's not counting grappling competitions. That's not counting bar fights. That's not counting sparring at the gym. That's not counting smokers. That's professional fights. This motherfucker right here is seasoned. This is the real deal right here. The real deal Holyfield, like Jorge Masvidal. These are the guys that ain't going in there to play the politic game. They're going in there just to do what they love to do and get paid to do it. That's what he's coming in here to do. The Dirty Bird Tim Means. He's coming in here just to fucking ruin people's career. Oh, you're here to be a champion for the fame and the glitz and glamour? Well, I'm here to fucking stop you. That's Tim Means. You got to pass Tim Means to get up into the upper echelon of the division. And that's the test that Max Payne Griffin is going to be facing. Max Payne is 18-9. He's pretty seasoned himself, but not as seasoned as the Dirty Bird. Max Payne's coming off of a split decision loss to Neil Magny, which snapped a 3-fight win streak over guys like Kanon Song and Carlos Condit. That's decently impressive. Getting that win over Carlos Condit, a former champion, but I mean, of course, Carlos Condit's a shell of himself these days. Kanon Song, I mean, he hasn't really beat anybody I'm looking at that would make me pick him over Tim Means, honestly. I really think I like Tim Means in this fight, guys. I mean, Max Payne, he's fighting tough fights. He's a real fighter. He's not turning down fights, but he's also not winning all of those fights. And to me, I believe a lot of these fights, I mean, if you're going to be in the upper echelon division, this is, I think, an evenly contested match. Max Payne's got a chance to win. Tim Means has a chance to win. This is really like a toss-up to me, but I'm going to give the edge to the experience. I'm going to give the edge to the Dirty Bird. Max Payne can get the job done 100%. He can win this fight, but I think Tim Means is just going to be a little too experienced. And he's probably going to... Tim Means kind of reminds me of a guy like a Neil Magny. It's funny, I compared him to him earlier. A Curtis Melinder, Alex Morono, Alex Oliveira. All these guys that have beat Max Griffin, that's who Tim Means reminds me of. Guys that can stand there and pick you apart. That's Tim Means. He's going to stand there, he's going to pick you apart. He's going to use his distance. He's going to have a super high fight IQ. Guys like Neil Magny, guys like Alex Oliveira, Alex Morono. Like, these are the guys that beat Max Payne Griffin. It seems like the guys with the highest fight IQ in there that are still able to pick you apart. Carlos Condit's got a very high IQ. Fucking his real IQ is crazy. So of course his fight IQ is, but he doesn't necessarily have the physicality at this point to still be that sniper at the top level. And so I think Carlos Condit back in the day would have beat Max Payne, but not today. Neil Magny, Alex Oliveira, Alex Morono, these guys, like I said, I gotta not gonna keep repeating myself. I gotta take Tim Means. I think he's gonna come in here and win the fight in a similar fashion. He's gonna try to pick him apart, and I think the fight's gonna play out on the feet. So yeah, I'm taking the Dirty Bird, Tim Means, to win in the co-main event against Max Payne Griffin. I always look forward to Tim Means fights. Definitely one of my favorite fighters. Like I said, those are my type of guys. The guys like Masvidal, the guys like Tim Means. Those are the fucking people that made this sport what it is today. The real fighters. They weren't here to put on pretty records and talk trash. They were just here to get paid to do what they love to do. Whether they're fighting in the backyard or they're fighting in the UFC's cage, they're going to be fighting. So I fucking love it. Moving on, we've got a couple fighters I really don't know much about at all. This guy probably came from the Contender Series. He's only 7-0. Waldo, Cortes, Acosta. He's going against a guy that's got a terrible record, 12-9. This dude, the UFC's trying to get rid of him, clearly. So this is probably a gimme fight. This is probably a put up or shut up fight for Vanderaa. He loses this fight, he's definitely getting cut. The UFC don't keep people unless they're female fighters. They usually don't keep people, or Sam Alvey. They normally don't keep people. And Sam Alvey, he's just on a huge losing streak. His record's not 500. But the UFC usually don't let men stick around that got 500 records. They'll feed them to some young up-and-comers. Let them put up or shut up. But yeah, this looks like a gimme fight for the undefeated 7-0 Waldo. Where's Waldo? Cortes Acosta. 31 years old, undefeated. He's boxing training style. He has only fought on the Contender Series. He's got a finish on the Contender Series. He's fought one fight for Bellator, fought multiple fights for LFA, which is kind of like the UFC's feeder organization. So 2 finishes in LFA, finish on the Contender Series. He's coming in here to get a finish, guys. This guy wants a finish. And he very well could get it. He's got a guy with a 500 record he's going to be facing. I mean, the guy he fought in the Contender Series might be better than the guy he's fighting in the UFC. So I think Acosta's going to come in here, and I think he's going to get a finish. He's shown he can finish you late. He can fight 3 rounds. He can win decisions. But he's fighting guys with decent records down here too. He fought a guy 9-4 in Bellator, an undefeated guy in LFA, a guy that's 10-5. Like a lot of the times, he's got a lot of boxing bouts, professional boxing bouts. Acosta versus Jones. He headlined a boxing event. First round knockout. Interesting. I wonder if it's bare knuckle. I don't think it is. Okay, so he was a professional boxer too. So this motherfucker got hands. He's coming in here to put homeboy to sleep. And if Vanderaa can't get this fight to the floor, he's probably going to sleep. It might be a TKO, likely. But yeah, I'm taking Waldo Acosta to come in here. Let's check out Vanderaa's record. It's 12-9. I don't feel like I need to do too much research here. Look at the guy. Motherfucking... Yeah, oh God. What the fuck? This dude is 1-5 in the UFC, bro. 1-5 in the UFC. He only beat Justin Tafa. This motherfucker is what they call a jabberwocky. This dude right here is on the way out the door. He's lucky he got this fight. No cap. He's just here to feed somebody's record and highlight reel. So, yep, we're taking Waldo Cortes Acosta to get a highlight finish. He's building up his highlight reel here. Former professional boxer, undefeated MMA fighter. Finish on the Contender Series. Yep, this is a gimme fight. We're taking Waldo via TKO round 1. Tresean Gore versus Josh Fremd, 3-2. That's why I don't know this guy. I've never heard of him. Tresean Gore, 3-2 in the UFC. Josh Fremd, like these fights should be taking place in LFA or Bellator or one championship. Like this is, bro. 10 years ago, these guys would have never sniffed the UFC. They would have never had their. I mean, the Fertittas and Dana White would have laughed at them if they would have ever even thought they were going to fight in the UFC. So with that being said, a lot of these guys end up just being fodder to build potential stars highlight reels. You know what I'm saying? And when you got somebody that's very marketable, these are the guys you can let them fight while they train and grow into their man body and they get more well-rounded. Let them fight guys like this. And then hopefully the plan is they get good enough to be able to compete with the best in the world. So we got Josh Fremd versus Tresean Gore. Let's check these guys out, do a little bit of research. Yeah. Tresean Gore, Mr. Vicious. You ain't too vicious with that record, buddy. Cody Brundage. Brian Battle, he's losing. He's coming in here and he's losing to guys. I mean, Brian Battle, he fought in tough. Cody Brundage, 7-2. Haven't heard much of him. Got finished by Cody Brundage. I mean, this guy's losing and getting finished by guys that aren't even sniffing the top 15. He fought on the Ultimate Fighter. And no, this dude is doo-doo draws, man. This dude is doo-doo draws, bro. He's literally only beat people with no wins and one guy with a win. All the guys he's beaten in his career have a combined 1 win. Fucking get him at it. He's lost both of his UFC fights. There's no way he's beating a guy that's 9-3. Unless this guy is he's even a little marketable. Got the red beard, the tats. The UFC's not going to feed this guy to fucking... I wouldn't even classify that guy as a jobber we just saw. Like, I don't know what I just seen. How is he in the UFC? What the fuck? I've seen it all now. Alright, we've got... He lost to Anthony Hernandez, but Anthony Hernandez is a real fighter. He's a legit competition. He beat a guy 8-4, beat a guy 4, and finished a guy on looking for a fight. 8-2, 7-3. He's fighting guys with real records, man, and he's finishing them. This isn't close. I'm taking Josh Fremd to come out and get a finish. Both of those guys, I think, are going to get finishes. These are gimme fights, just pretty much padding their record. You know, Josh Fremd gets a free fight here pretty much. And it's not, anything can happen, obviously. Dude's got a puncher's chance or whatever. But this is a fight he's not supposed to lose. He's not supposed to lose this fight. So I'm taking Josh Fremd. He can lose. I'm just saying he's not supposed to. The UFC's trying to give him a win. The matchmakers are giving this guy a good one. I mean, so with that being said, I'm definitely taking Josh Fremd, the big Yins. How old is he? Is he pretty young? He got some marketability potential in him? Only 28 years old, 6'4". Yeah, he's got some potential, boys. Potentially 10-3 after this. What was he fight? Heavyweight being 6'4"? Oh, he's only a fucking middleweight, 6'4" middleweight. Oh yeah, that's interesting. Okay, 6'4" middleweight coming in here, motherfucker. He's probably gonna get him working on his highlight reel too. I'm picking him to win via finish. How does he get? What is he at? He gets a lot of choke. Okay, he's got some chokes. He's got some TKO. He's got a knockout, split decision. He got some chokes, so he's got solid grappling. Whoa, he's got amateur fights too. Look at this. Holy smokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 amateur fights. Did it the right way. Well-rounded. Yep, this guy's got some marketability and some potential right here. He did it the right way. He for sure should win this fight. Josh Fremd. I'm taking Josh Fremd. So if you're keeping count, we're picking Arnold Allen. We're picking Tim Means. We're picking Waldo, Cortes, Acosta. We're picking Josh Fremd. And in the final fight of the main card, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be picking Khalil Rountree. But I need to do a little bit of research. But I'm pretty sure we're taking Khalil Rountree. I'll put it in the comments. You know, my predictions. I'll pin it in the comments. So if you do want to know who I picked, you don't have to watch the entire thing and figure it out. So I will put my predictions down in the comments. I want to see you guys as well. Make sure you put your predictions in the comments. Let me know who you got. Dustin Jacoby versus Khalil Rountree Jr. Khalil Rountree Jr., I'm a fan of him. He's a dude that got into MMA. He got in just to start losing weight. And he ended up becoming his fucking kicks are fire. But he ended up just becoming a professional fighter who's actually talented, just wanting to lose weight. I think he started doing like cardio kickboxing, and he ended up becoming a professional fucking fighter. He used to be a gamer. He used to just game all day, fat dude. I can relate. And then he into his groove with kickboxing and at the exercise, and he got addicted and became a fucking professional fighter. That is a success story. So I am a fan of Khalil Rountree Jr. I'm kind of rooting for him. But before I can pick him, I got to do my research. So here we go. Dustin Jacoby. Why is it taking me to these links? Why am I going to somebody's Twitch? What is wrong with these links? Dustin Jacoby Tapology. I guess I'll just type it in. Dustin Jacoby Tapology. Dustin the Henyak. What the hen is a henyak? What the heck is a henyak? 34 years old, ranked number 13, light heavyweight in the world. Factory X Muay Thai, okay. Coming off a first round knockout over Daun Jung. He's beat Michael Olegzinchuk. Okay, John Allen, Darren Stewart, the dentist. Split decision with Ian Kutalaba. I'm not seeing any losses. Used to be a kickboxer. About Cody E. So he's got some good. Clearly, he's got good striking. Used to kickbox and box. He fought on the Contender Series and got a decision. Came into the UFC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's 6-0-1 in the UFC. That's pretty impressive. That is pretty impressive. So this is where we have to dive a little deeper. I know Darren Stewart's solid. He finished Darren Stewart. John Allen. Let's look into these guys' record and see his most recent wins. Really, how good are these guys? 17-5. He just beat Sam Alvey. Finished him. Shamil Gamzatov. Okay. He lost to Jimmy Crute and OSP, but ooh, he's pretty good. Okay. Dustin Jacoby might be the real deal, man. He's going to be tough for my boy. It's going to be tough for Khalil. Okay, Daun Jung. That's more of a gimme fight, I'm pretty sure. Daun Jung, I don't even think he's better than Michael Olegzinchuk. And to beat this dude by decision, that's a legit win. Daun Jung. Korean top team. He was on a streak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 0-1 in the UFC until he lost to Dustin Jacoby. I mean, Dustin Jacoby's beating solid guys, man. Let's check out who Khalil Rountree's been beating. It's gonna be a good fight, man. It's gonna be tough for Khalil. That's for goddamn sure. That's gonna be a tough fight. Training out of Syndicate MMA, he just beat Carl Roberson, finished him. Modestus Bukauskas with that side kick. Yeah, them kicks, boy. Side kick to the knee. Body kicks. His kicks are mean. I told you, man. He beat Eric Anders, lost to Prachio, Kutalava. Fuck, this is a fucking fire matchup. I don't know who to pick. I thought I was going to be picking Khalil Rountree, guys, but I really think I might have to give the edge to old Carl Roberson. To old Dustin Jacoby. I might have to give the edge to Dustin Jacoby. He hasn't lost in the UFC yet. He's beat legitimate competition. He's passed all of his tests so far. He's finished guys. And on the other hand, Khalil Rountree got devastating kicks. He got on a win streak, but he's lost to guys that are like not top 15ers. And so, maybe he's streaking and hitting his stride, but honestly, I think this is one of those tests for Khalil where I think he's right around that top 20 range. I think he might, rank 19 to 20, but I don't know if he's top 15. And this is that test to see if he's ready for the top 15, and he could pass this test. Khalil could pass this test and win this fight, just like Sean O'Malley did. But logically, I think I'm going to have to pick Dustin Jacoby, who has been winning against more impressive guys. He's been beating higher level competition, and he's also undefeated in the UFC, which nobody's been able to figure him out in the UFC, despite fighting legit competition. And I don't know if Khalil Rountree is going to be the guy to figure out this puzzle. So I'm going to give the edge to Dustin Jacoby. But I'm rooting for Khalil, man. I'm a fan of him. But I'm picking Dustin Jacoby. Alright, guys. Those are my picks and predictions. I'm going to go over them and then pull up the chat. So we're picking Arnold Allen in the main event of the evening. Let's go to the UFC website. We got Arnold Allen in the main event. We're taking Tim Means in the co-main event. We're taking Waldo Cortes Acosta. We're taking Josh Fremd. And we're taking Dustin Jacoby to win their respective fights. I think they're all favorites. They're all favorites except for maybe Arnold Allen. But either way, with that being said, boys, those are my breakdowns and predictions. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me pull up the chat. Say hi to whoever's in here for the live predictions. John Doe in the building, going into work. What's up, full-time designing the enemy? I'm him. Let's get it. Moist Audio said MMA quick hits. What's going on, OG? Triple low. Fuck Oscar. All right, everybody. That's the live breakdown and predictions for UFC Fight Night. Calvin Kattar versus Arnold Allen. With that being said, it is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments, because I am out. Deuces.